Hello everyone. Today's topic is alveolar process. So the contents are introduction, parts, composition, physiologic changes, internal reconstruction, as well as the clinical considerations which are to be seen. Introduction. Alveolar process is that bone of the jaws containing the sockets, that is the alveoli, for the teeth, delicate. That part of maxilla and mandible that forms and supports the socket of the teeth. Anatomically, no distance boundary between body of maxilla or mandible and their respective alveolar process is seen. Parts of alveolar bone as to adapt to function, two parts can be distinguished. One, alveolar bone proper. The second one, supporting alveolar bone. That is cortical plates as well as the spongy bone. Cortical plates are basically compact bone and form the outer and inner plates of alveolar process. Spongy bone fills area between the plates and the alveolar bone proper. Now the parts of alveolar bone in this picture, you can see the alveolar bone directly surrounding the tooth cavity is called the cribriform plate. The layer of cribriform plate into which the collagen fibers of the ligament are anchored is called bundle bone. The bone underlying the gingiva is called the cortical plate. The bone between teeth is called the interdental septum, is composed entirely of the cribriform plate. Now, parts of alveolar bone cortical plates continues with compact layers of maxilla and mandible body, thinner in maxilla than mandible, thickest in premolar and molar regions of cover jaw, especially buccal side. In maxilla, outer place is perforated by small opening, like blood vessels, lymph vessels pass. Mandible cortical plate is dense. Anterior region of the both jaws it is thin. No spongy bone and plate is fused to alveolar bone proper. Premolars and molar region of maxilla defects of periodontal ligament and mucosa do not impair attachment and function. Outline of crest of alveolar septa in X-ray is dependent on position of adjacent teeth. Healthy tissue distance between CEJ and free border and alveolar proper is constant. Interdental and interauricular septa contain perforating canal of Zuckerkandl and Hirschfeld. Histology: cortical plate consists of lamellar and Herbacean system. Lower jaw, circumferential or basic lamella, reach from body of mandible into cortical plate. Parts of alveolar bone, spongiosa, two types. Type 1, trabecular are regular and horizontal ladder-like arrangement. Type 2, irregularly arranged, numerous and delicate. The clinical significance being type 1 is seen in mandible, fits into idea of trajectory pattern. Type 2, functionally satisfactory, lacks distinct trajectory, compensated by greater number of trabeculae, mostly commonly seen in maxilla. Parts of alveolar bone. Marrow spaces in alveolar process contain hematopoietic marrow, but usually they contain fatty marrow. Condylar process in the angle of mandible, maxillary tuberosity, and in other isolated foci, hematopoietic cellular marrow is found. Alveolar bone proper forms inner wall of socket perforated by openings carry vessels into periodontal ligament and is called cribriform plate. Consists of lamellated and bundle bone. Some lamellar of lamellated bone arranged similar to surface of adjacent marrow space, whereas others from the Herbacean system. Bundle bone. Principal fibers of PDL are anchored. This name was chosen so that the bundles of principal fiber continue into bone as Sharpie's fibers. Scarcity of fibrils in intercellular substance than these arrange at right angles to Sharpie's fibers. Few fibrils than lamellated, so appears dark in routine. hematoxylin and eosin and much length in stained with silver. It has more Casals unit area than of the bone tissue. By volume, it is inorganic in nature. 65% is made up of hydroxyapatite crystals, organic 35%, collagen 88% to 89% in type 1, non-collagen 11 to 12%. Non-collagen are basically glycoproteins, proteoglycans, siloproteins, and lipids. Glycoproteins are between 6.5 to 10%, that is mono, di, poly, or oligosaccharides. Proteoglycans are 0.8% sulfated and non-sulfated glycosaminoglycans. Siloproteins are 0.35%, lipids being 0.4%. Physiologic changes continue during growth and alteration of functional stresses. Osteoclasts eliminate overaged bony tissue, multinucleated giant cells, blood cells, that is monocytes, are different from mesenchymal cells. Cell body irregularly oval or club shaped with branchy processes found in bay-like depression, house ships lacunae. Part of the cell in contact with bone shows convolute surface, ruffled border surrounded by clear zone. Sometimes osteocytes are the cause of resorption. Osteocytic osteolysis. Physiologic changes, tooth movement by normal mesial drift or orthotics can cause cementum and bone resorption. Tooth movement towards the cribriform plate stimulated osteoclast to resorb bone to make room for the new position of the tooth. The scallop shaped resorbed area is called a resorption lacuna. Osteoblast secrete type 1 collagen as well as non-collagenous matrix bone. Differentiator from progenitor or precursor cells of connective tissue. Secret organic matrix, it is devoid of mineral salts and at this stage it stains pink in hematoxylin and eosin and is called osteoid tissue. As this is found when some of the osteoblasts embed in it and form osteocytes. Tooth movement by normal mesial drift orthodontics can cause bone deposition. Tooth movement away from cribriform plate stimulates osteoblasts to lay down new bone, thus filling in the space left by the repositioning of the tooth. New bone is woven bone and extends from an arrest line. Periodontal fibers are anchored in this new bundle bone. Bone resorption. Resorption at any site is chemotactic phenomenon. Role of genetic and functional influence cannot be underestimated. Three processes occur. One is decalcification, where the ruffled border of circle secretes organic acids. When when chelates bound by H plus increase solubility of hydroxyapatite crystals. Now the degradation of matrix, pieces of matrix release to the activity of cathepsin B1 and collagenase enzyme. Then the transport of soluble product to ECF or blood vasculature system. Internal reconstruction of bone. Bone is deposited on outer surface of cortical plates. In mandible with its thick compact cortical plates, bone is deposited in shape of basic or outer circumferential lacunae. Lamellae reach certain thickness, they are replaced by Haversian bone inside. Reconstruction is related to functional and nutrient demands of bone. Resorbed bone replaced by proliferating loose connective tissue. Area of resorption is called cutting cone or resorption tunnel. After this ceases, new bone is opposed onto the old. Scalloped outline turns into convexity towards old bone, remains visible as dark cementing line and reversal line. Resting line is the period of formation. Periods of resorption alternates with rest and repair. During repair, bundle bone is formed and detached PDL fibers are secured. Compact bone can be replaced by spongy or spongy by compact. This internal reconstruction observed in physiological or mesial drift or orthomesial or distal movement. Clinical consideration, highly plastic orthodontic movement without disrupting reaction. Vascular, it is exceedingly sensitive to pressure. Tension acts similar to produce new bone. Tooth movement, bone is resorbed under pressure and approached on the side of tension. Pressure side increase in camp. Adaptation to function, increase in forces leads to formation. Decrease in function leads to decrease in volume of bone. Tooth without an antagonist. Spongy bone shows us rarefaction. Bone trabeculæ are less and thin. Alveolar proper, preserved because it reserves stimuli from tension of the PDL. Age changes. Older sockets appear jagged and uneven. Fibers are in uneven pattern, fatty marrow infiltration, and osteoporosis. Edentulous jaw, decrease in sight, and loss of maxillary bone. In the absence of function of tooth, the periodontal ligament becomes narrow and loses the organization of fiber bundles. This becomes the non-functional periodontia. New woven bundle bone has a different appearance than the lamellar bone, which it has replaced in its ground section of tooth and bone. Any questions? That would be my time. Thank you very much.